Not every day do you hear of a middle school science teacher climbing a famous mountain. Recently, Mr. Howe, a teacher at the middle school, ascended Mount Kilimanjaro. The climb of 19,341 feet is a difficult task. The climb usually takes 5 to 9 days to complete.
Kilimanjaro was a goal for me since we had a young kid. I believe he was the age of 19 when he came here. But 6 years ago to the middle school, and if you went to the middle school, you know the big mountain mural in the middle of our cafeteria. But I met that that I'm gonna call him a kid, but at 19, he hiked all of the 7 summits, actually 8 summits on all of the 7 highest continents. I met him, and he was just a normal guy from Colorado that liked to travel, liked to hike mountains, and that kind of sounded intriguing to me. So I decided that if he could do Kilimanjaro at 12, maybe would kind of keep that as a bucket list climb and trip for me to kind of hopefully aspire to one day. Mentally, I would say that's just more of kind of reading and getting yourself ready and like what you need for packing wise. That took quite a bit of time with just kind of planning the what to buy and when to buy and what the elevation is going to look like, because we started on Kilimanjaro. You start in a rainforest, so you got to be ready for rainforest ecosystems, and then you end up in a glacier, so you got to be ready for like the winterist climate. So you kind of got to be ready for everything. However, and I said anytime I talk about this, I couldn't have done it without our porters. There are people that go with you, that climb with you, and they carry all your stuff. So all that supplies I just talked about, I didn't have to carry much for myself. I just had to carry my liters of water every day and my day pack, but they carried all the big stuff. For the physical stuff, it was long. So here's what I did. I calculated how far I had to hike for Kilimanjaro. I had to go up like 13,000 feet. And so what I did was I put my backpack on, which was about a 35-pound pack, and I hiked in my subdivision. This long hill in my subdivision, Herculaneum, is about a half-mile long, and I did it 140 times. It took me 2.5 months, and I just kind of logged how long I did it, but little by little, even in the heat of the summer, it kind of got me ready to just be able to carry weight and kind of do things that are tough, hence the Missouri humid summers were kind of miserable. Surprising was the culture. From getting off the plane and thinking I was going to Tanzania, and then as soon as I got there, they said, welcome to Tanzania. I realized, okay, the culture, the people are something that I haven't ever experienced. So between the culture and the people and how welcoming they are, how diverse they are. They got their own things going on. They have their own communities and programs and schools, and it's different than ours, but they have their own booming economy, and it's very interesting to kind of see it. On the actual mountain, I would just say just the different ecosystems. As a science teacher, I loved, I've never been to a rainforest, I've never seen a glacier, and everything else in between, from the plant life to the animal life, like climbing or hiking and having a type of monkey, like a lemur on top of you as you're in the trees as you are hiking is kind of a neat thing that you don't really get to see in Missouri very often. So that day is day 5. So it takes 6.5 days total. On day 5, you wake up at midnight, and it took us 6.5 hours to climb to the top. And it was only 3.1 miles. So I'm at 15,000 feet, and then we have to go 3.1 miles to 19,000 feet, and then we have to turn around and go back down into the rainforest. So then we have to hike another 9 miles back down. So on that day, we ended up hiking 12 miles total. That was the longest hike that we had out of any day. So by the time we got done, we started at midnight, and we were done by afternoon.
Thank you for the interview, Mr. Howe. I'm Christopher Link with BKTV signing off.